What's going on, guys? It's Rylan with Rylan's Amazing Photography, and today I'm going to be telling you all how to make passive income with photography. So let's go ahead and get right into today's video. I have 5 different ways that with photography you can make your very own passive income, and if you get really good at it, you can even make a living by doing these 5 things. So pay close attention, and you've probably heard a lot of these before, if not all of them, but they are very helpful if you're really looking for a career in photography and if that's something that you're really dedicated in. So let's go ahead and start this off with something that pretty much everyone in photography who's been doing it for a while has heard of, and that's stock photography. I've talked about this a little bit before, but I've never really talked in depth on it, and I'm not going to talk in depth on it today either. If that's something that you're interested in me doing, definitely go down in the comments and tell me that. But a basic summary is stock photography is when you sell your photos online for commercial or editorial use. I mean, you're not going to make a whole lot of money from this. You're really not. It's probably going to be a couple of cents, probably 25 cents per photo or something. And that's not necessarily great, but you can't really go and sell your photos on your own website for more than that when someone could get a photo very close to yours on a stock photography website. The photography website that I use for stock is Shutterstock. They have a variety of different ones that you can choose from, and your profits will probably vary with each of those, but I have found Shutterstock to be the most, just kind of, I don't know how to explain it. They're really good about working with you, and if there's a problem, they've got really good customer service. I'm not sponsored by them or anything. There's a whole lot of other ones that you can choose from. 123RF. If you're over 18, I think you can do Adobe Stock. There's not a whole lot of them that's popping in my head right now, but there are a lot of different stock photography options to choose from. There's a lot of great videos out there that will instruct you on what stock photography is. If that's something that you're really interested in getting into, you can check out Nicole Glass. She has some really good stock photography videos that will teach you how to get into that industry and how to be really good at selling your photos online. So this next topic that can allow you to make your very own passive income is something that a lot of photographers do, and you don't really have to have a large following to do it. But you do need a following to do it. So it doesn't have to be a large following, but you do need a following. It's going to be really great if you have social media and you interact on that way to do this. But this is something that you can do without social media as well. And that is creating your very own print store. So this is probably the point where you all are like, oh my gosh, this guy is just like the rest of these videos that I've watched on how to make passive income with photography. But making a print store isn't that difficult. And you're probably thinking, oh my gosh, it's going to be so hard, it's going to be so much work. And while it can be, it's not necessarily that much work. A lot of photographers will do their very own printing and send it out and ship it out, and that is a lot of work. A photographer that I know that does that is Cameron Roxbury. He has some really good prints, so definitely make sure to go and check him out. He's on Instagram. He also has YouTube. He sells some really good wildlife prints. He's a very talented photographer, so good for him. He does that. He makes it work. Very impressive. But you don't have to do that. You don't have to print your own photos. You don't have to have a big, fancy, expensive printer. You can do it by having a different company do it for you. And that's called OnDemand Printing, and that is what I do with my print store. If you're interested in looking at my prints, I have a bunch of different nature photo prints that you can purchase, starting as low as $15. And you can do that by going down below and clicking the links or going to rylandsamazingphotography.com/prints. So there are a bunch of different websites that allow you to do on-demand printing. But the one that I choose and the one that I have found to be the best option for on-demand printing is Darkroom Tech. I have looked at a bunch of different print stores that would allow me to do this. It took a long time before I ever launched my print store, and Darkroom Tech really made it easy. I had my print store set up in minutes, and it was ready to launch within a few days after I created it. The high quality that their printing is very impressive. And the good thing is it's free to set up. They get 15% of your commission, which is not that bad, and of course you have to pay for transaction fees with credit card and debit card and PayPal, and those can vary depending on the amount that the person is spending on your prints. And of course, you also have to pay for whatever it costs to make that print. But you really get pretty good profits. If you sell a lot on Darkroom, you can actually upgrade and have your own. It's like you upgrade and you pay $11 a month, and they only take 5% of your profits instead of 15%. So if you're really looking into going into prints and you're selling a lot, I would recommend probably paying that $11 a month, because it will pay off in the long run. If you're interested in launching your own print store, I have a very good separate video that explains it more in depth and talks about darkroom tech. You can click right here to go and watch that. But definitely stay around to the end of this video to see the other 3 ways that I haven't talked about yet that you can make your passive income. So the third way of having and creating passive income is to write a book. You're probably thinking, oh, that's so much work. It's not that much work. It's really not. I mean, actually that's a lie. It is quite a bit of work, but Blurb makes it easy to sell it and to create it. Go to blurb.com, create an account, download BookWrite, and you can write any kind of book that you please. You can make a photo book, you can make just a regular book, you can make a book with pictures that's not a photo book. Like, the options are limitless. And so you're probably thinking, well, I'm a photographer, but I don't take landscape photos or street photos or wildlife photos, so what am I going to write a book about? Well, let's say that you're a portrait photographer or a wedding photographer. Obviously, you're not going to make a picture book with your different clients in it. Well, you might. I don't know who might have judged. I don't know who would buy that. But you might do it. I'm not going to judge you for that. But what can you do? You're thinking, if you don't want to do that, what can you do? Well, you can write an instructional book on how to do wedding photography, how to do portrait photography. Chances are that you have a lot more experience than people getting into the industry, so you can use your knowledge to teach them. So why not write a book about it and then sell it and make money for that? Because, I mean, there are a lot of people that don't know anything about photography and they want to do photography, but they just don't know how. So, I mean, make it possible for them to do that. Create an instructional book. Or if you're a landscape photographer or a wildlife photographer or just an all-around nature photographer, street photographer, whatever, make a photo book. Blurb makes that really good. That is where I created my book out of the darkness. It was really simple to do. Blurb does all of the, all the files and stuff for you, the coding. I don't know what all it takes to make a book, because all I do is write the words and put in the pictures. Blurb does the rest. The setup is so simple and easy, and you can see exactly how your book is going to look before you ever get it. Once again, I'm not sponsored by Blurb or affiliated with them in any way other than I sell my book through them. So you can use the link below in the description if you're interested in checking out my book. Or you can go to www.rollinsamazingphotography.com, and my book is on my homepage of my website, and you can click the link there. So the fourth way that you can make passive income with photography is to set up in an art gallery. I have a friend in photography who does that, Ryan Taylor. I believe that's what it's called, setting up in a gallery. I'm not really sure, an art fair. I'm not sure what the technical term for that is. But basically, I believe that you pay so much a month to set up a booth there, and you just leave your prints there all the time, and you don't necessarily have to be there for someone to buy your stuff. They could pick your picture and then take it to the front counter and purchase it. And so if you have a lot of good prints that you just want to set up and not deal with a print store, you could do that at an art fair, and you don't even have to be there. So you're making money all the time by people coming in and saying, oh, I really like this print, and then taking it to the front and paying for it. And, I mean, you're making money, and you could be asleep. So, like, why would you not want to do that? Literally, with any of these options, you could be asleep, and you're racking up dollars. So, like, why not do them? Because most of these are free to do anyway. So, come on, people. Like, so the final way that you can make passive income with photography is workshops. And I don't literally mean going out in the field with 10 other photographers and teaching them how to do photography. You don't have to do that, and with COVID-19 you can't do that. So why not make an online workshop? It's really simple to do. If you have a website, you can just be like, hey, click this link and pay $15 and I'll teach you everything you need to know about photography. And boom, there you go. You've just made $15. And the good thing about having a workshop like that is you're not having to pay for a product. Now with a print, you're going to have a cost of whatever it costs to print the photo and frame it or whatnot. But with a workshop, there's no cost. Obviously, your time is money, so you've spent a lot of time to put together this workshop, but you're not literally taking cash out of your wallet or bank account and throwing it and risking it to not make any profit in return. Because if you're making a workshop, if the sad outcome came that you didn't make any money, it's not really a loss besides your time because you didn't pay anything for that. So it could be a general photography seminar. It could be instructions on how to do wildlife photography, how to do landscape photography. There's no limits with a workshop. You can set it up on your website. If you don't have the capabilities of doing that, maybe you could send someone an unlisted link on YouTube or a private link on YouTube once they pay you somehow. There's a bunch of different ways that you could do it. You can be creative if you don't have a website. And people will probably buy it if you have a following. Even if you don't have a following, if you have a family friend or something who's like, I want to get into photography, can you teach me? You can be like, yeah, I've got an online workshop. You just pay $15 or $30 or $100 or $500. I mean, I don't know. If someone's wanting to get into photography, I don't think they're going to pay $500 for a workshop. I wouldn't, but maybe they would. I don't know. Maybe they're rich. So that is all I have for today's video. If you want to make money while you sleep, passive income, that is exactly how to do it. Those 5 options are really good ways to use photography to your advantage to make income. Don't get me wrong, none of these are going to be easy. It's going to be a lot of work. It's going to be difficult to do. There's going to be ups, there's going to be downs. But when you're able to sit down and sleep and take a nap and, I don't know, 3 in the morning and you're selling things and you're making money while you're doing absolutely nothing, I think it's going to pay off in the long run. I want to thank you all so much for watching today's video, which is why I have a little special treat at the end of this video for you. If you go to my print store right now, www.rollinsamazingphotography.com, it is a week from Christmas, a week from today. Isn't that crazy? It's just, whoa, anyways. You can use the promo code SNOW in all caps at checkout to get 10% off of your order. I have framed prints, canvases, and just regular luster photo paper prints that you can buy to hang or sit or do nothing with in your home, and it helps support me. It is Christmas time, and if you're looking for a way to spend that little extra money or the money that you got on Christmas Day, that would be the perfect way to do it. And make sure you use the promo code SNOW at checkout to get 10% off of your order. Thank you all once again so much for watching, and I hope each and every one of you all have an amazing day. And Christmas! Whoop whoop!